Hello, and welcome to another episode of Funbearable. I am one of your hosts, Brad Rohr. I'm joined by...
Ray Harrington.
And...
Charles Alexander Staten III.
That's true. That's true.
Will there be a fourth?
Maybe.
Ooh.
Is there already a fourth?
Ooh.
Probably.
Yeah, we're gonna go with like you're Charles the 11th. You want to hear something funny?
Well, now we're into king territory.
We sure are.
Charles the 11th.
But
You know what happened to
when
him.
they call me for my
Syphilis
prescriptions,
went insane.
when they call me for my prescriptions, because
Syphilis medication.
my name
It's
is,
going to happen to the third.
it's it says Charles A. Staten III,
Yeah.
the Roman numeral 3. They'll go like this. Hello, Charles. I.
No, that's them reading it, and they're like, aye. That's what's happening.
Reading my medication.
Yeah.
list.
Aye.
More syphilis.
Wow.
You know, this is the complete act out. Ready? So, Charles, you see the whole list of all this stuff. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's great.
This is clearly a suppository, and it says take orally. This is insane.
Yeah, that's not healthy. I don't think you should. You should get a new pharmacy. Terrible.
love it.
Absolutely terrible.
Oh, Brad, what's going on, buddy? I like your glasses on your head.
I'm not doing great. Ray, how are you?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Are you not
it's-
doing great? What's wrong?
What a pivot.
It's I feel useless.
Really?
For those of you just joining us, I left my job of 16 years about a month ago, and I'm hitting a wall where I'm not sure what's next, and I am deeply, deeply struggling at not only figuring that out, but also like occupying my time where, I want to work on these creative projects, and none of them are finished. All of them are in process.
Yes.
This book, this screenplay, and I just feel like I'm wasting my days.
Really?
Also,
Yeah.
I have a lot of bad things to say about a website called Wix.com. Let me adjust the height of my page. That's all I want to do. I almost threw a fit at I was working at the library of all places,
Yes.
and I'm like, I'm going to throw my laptop.
Can I ask a question?
At the library.
I'm going to lose it. I did not lose it. I walked home.
So you're-
I had some oatmeal.
So are you feeling you're actively working on this stuff?
It's weird.
What do you say? What are you laughing
It
at?
wasn't plain oatmeal,
No,
Ray.
I know, but the idea of so I had some calm down oatmeal.
Did you say that?
Yeah, I said,
Just
I,
said I went
had
home and I
oatmeal.
had some oatmeal. He's like, I almost threw my laptop, but then I went home and I had some oatmeal.
Oatmeal.
I didn't even hear that.
Yeah, that's why I was laughing quietly to myself.
I almost threw my laptop at the librarian when I went home and had some oatmeal.
You know those horrible bitches.
That's what I'm saying. They don't
librarians?
deserve my wrath,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm like, I can't.
All they want to
I'm-
do is
I'm-
figure out what ISDN number that they need to catalog that book under, and you're over there fuming, and you're like, if I don't get some Quaker milled oats in my body soon,
I'll say this:
I'll straight up murder somebody in the romance section.
the library. They do a lot of stuff. I don't know if you guys are familiar with libraries.
Retiree Brad Rohr, everybody.
Yes.
Do you guys know the library does a lot of stuff? Anyway, I was pissed, but I went home and had some oatmeal.
I was famously against libraries until I needed to use one. I used to say they're a drain on society.
No, yeah.
I never said it out loud.
So
He always points at a library and goes, "Oh, look, that's where homeless people jerk off."
Oh, you know what? The other day,
Also true.
You actually tell Ray the situation you overheard, and
right.
let's figure out. We'll try to put on a detective hat.
And listen-
Sherlock Ray,
And listener, viewer,
Watson.
I want you to know,
Chucky Yagi.
Chucky Yagi.
It's supposed to be Chucky Artie.
Chucky
Oh,
Yagi.
Chucky Yagi is wax on, wax off.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I do want the listener viewer to know, yes, it does sound like we took an episode and threw it in a blender. And all 3 different episodes are happening at the same time. I assure you, we did talk ahead of time. We do
did.
have a plan.
We do.
Maybe we'll get to it.
None of it is what we've been talking about so far.
I didn't know there was rage oatmeal involved.
Oh, neither did I.
Calm down, oatmeal.
I will say this is one of the
That's
things.
you in a bar.
It's
and you're
rage oatmeal is too spicy, and I'm just eating it. I'm getting madder and
No,
madder.
this is you at the bar going, oatmeal, neat. And you put your hand out and
It spills all over you.
what, did you put cinnamon in this?
I
I
will
love
say
cinnamon and oatmeal.
what people are seeing right now is the merging of like three people who like to do a podcast together and three people who are friends that haven't hung out all together in a while.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're all
I've
like
been gone for a good long while.
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
know
been gone
about
for
this.
a reason, and we're gonna get into
I
that.
didn't know about this library situation.
Yes.
So tell Ray what you overheard,
All
and
right,
then
so
Sherlock Ray, Bradson, and
type.
Tucky Hardy.
And then
my
I
pipe.
hear, the way the library is set up, you enter librarian desk here at, let's say, 1 or 2 o'clock, a room of computers
Okay.
at, 4 to 5
The
o'clock.
masturbatorium.
Possibly.
Well,
then a
Sherlock
room
Ray.
with like where Brad works. The Bradatorium is around the other side, so I can't see into
so
the
dark.
I can't see into the masturbatorium.
so much oatmeal,
Why are all these holes punched in the drywall?
and they're filled with oatmeal.
What's it? Is this place haunted? I just keep hearing moans and screaming.
Man,
that's the Bradatorium.
You just created a world where everything about you from now on has to do with oatmeal. Oatmeal is going to be brought in every episode about Brad because it's such a perfect representation of who you are.
All right. I mean, it was maple and brown sugar.
Yeah,
so-
right. That Brad, I'm maple. He's brown sugar. You're the oatmeal.
Thank God all three of us are white dudes.
Yes.
Because you pointing at somebody going, you're brown sugar is like,
You're my
He's a-
candy girl.
it's that Rolling Stones song where you're like, I don't think we can do that.
No, we
No,
don't
not
play it.
anymore.
Okay, so you're at the library.
So I'm at the library,
You
and
have walked past the masturbatorium. You are now into the
I
Bradatorium.
have worked for several hours at this point, to the point where I'm like, take my AirPods out. I'm getting ready to go, and I hear the librarian, who is again hard worker, appreciated, valued member of society, librarian, says, "Hey, knock that off in here," or something like that. But her attention is directed toward the masturbatorium. Thankfully, she doesn't see me spackling my holes
With oatmeal.
With oatmeal.
Oh, that's a weird euphemism
Yes,
for
it
masturbating.
is. She didn't see me.
Spackling my holes.
She didn't see me. As soon as I said spackle, I'm like, let's hope that sails past. It didn't sail past. It was caught.
And by the way, the name of this episode is Brad Spackled Hole.
It is not. It is not.
Brad's Spackled
I love the idea that this was like, oh, we'll talk about that fucking cruise you went on. And now we're like, this is about Brad masturbating in a life.
with oatmeal. I love Brad.
It sounds like stirring oatmeal. It does sound like stirring oatmeal. That's disgusting.
point.
I'm sorry.
Spackling my hole with a little cock, and no, Brad, no.
So she has yelled at the, or firmly addressed someone in the masturbatorium for some sort of misbehavior. And I'm like, well, I know what's going on there.
She said, don't do that in here. or
Basically, not in here.
not in here.
Something like that.
Okay.
And
What
I-
if she's racist? And
Well,
this is like a Ruby situation going to school, and she looked at somebody, a person of color, and said, "Not in here."
I don't
Unlikely.
think so,
Unlikely.
no.
We're very progressive.
It's war in Rhode Island.
But the person didn't
We got a lot of
like.
Please don't finish.
accepting people.
Oh, okay. No, I was doing an impression of the librarian. Please don't finish.
Hey, I'm gonna spackle my hole somewhere.
Nobody entered or exited the masturbatorium within 10 minutes of either side of this admonishment.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, clearly they were looking at pornography.
If they were
Clearly.
what he's saying is if they were jacking off, they would be like escorted out. Like
Well,
it's
yeah,
not like you're
yeah,
just like,
yeah.
hey, knock off your jacking
Or
off.
you would hope that they would be like, "Oh man, now I'm really embarrassed. I better leave."
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Imagine
Every time-
imagine the confidence of someone being caught masturbating in a public space where they go, "Hey, not in here, pal."
Yeah.
Right? And they go, "Fine," and they put it away.
And then-
and then
then-
they go they wipe their hands on their shirt and then back to
Google-
monster.com
Yeah.
to find a job.
Low calorie oatmeal. Rage reducing oatmeal.
Every oatmeal.
When did the Quaker guy die?
Yep.
How to more discreetly spackle my hole in the library. I can't wait.
Hydro flask backpack, but for oatmeal.
Ooh, hydrote.
Straw that will allow mush.
I don't even like oatmeal that much.
Oh no,
You're
you
living in a
love
world
oatmeal.
of oatmeal for the rest of your life, and every time you're late, I'm like, guy's spackling his hole.
Yeah, I guess we have a new sponsor to reach out to.
You do seem like the Quaker Oats guy.
Well, how do I seem like the Quaker Oats guy?
You're stoic.
Yep.
I am unstoic. I can't keep
You
a straight
look
face.
judgmentally out of a cabinet.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Fuck you. Too spicy. That's what he says about the oatmeal.
Yeah.
But I was actually thinking, because we recently did an episode where we talked about so many Indiana things.
Yes.
I would love a shirt, a Funbearable shirt, which we have a lot of ideas for shirts. Your head in the middle with a big Napoleon hat, and it has all the stuff in Indiana that you like. French lick, Boz's hot dogs.
Why the hat?
Because it's like he's traveling around, like it's your home.
Why is it a Napoleon hat?
Napoleon isn't like, oh, he's a real traveler.
He does?
Historically, Napoleon is known for specifically trying to go one place and failing.
Where's that?
That's about it. He was trying to conquer. He was trying to...
Yeah, he's little.
No, he wasn't even short.
I know, but that's the whole thing.
apocryphal.
I know it's apocryphal.
Okay.
I was about to say that. But
Can we go back to whoever was jerking off in the
all
library?
right,
well,
fine.
here's the thing.
Well, okay, I was going to say we can change it to the Quaker Oat hat. Instead,
Okay.
instead of oatmeal.
Sure, yes.
Because he loves oatmeal.
Yeah.
This guy's
Was-
living on oatmeal.
Was this admonished person,
Doing.
what were they doing? And I thought and I thunk and I thunk and I thought, and the only thing
Yeah.
did they take, anticlimactically, did they take a toot off a vape indoors?
Yeah, that's
That seems logical.
That, like
Yes.
the right amount
Yeah.
of, hey, not in here.
But they don't leave.
And they're not
don't
that
leave.
embarrassed. They're like, oh, you caught me. I'm spitting water vapor into the air, or however
Yeah,
vapes
yeah.
work.
It's so funny because like I would never go there in terms of like where my mind would go, but I think you're like 100% right in terms of the thing that fits into that scenario.
I've almost asked that librarian, like, hey, last week, what did you yell at that guy for?
You should do that.
But
I have a better idea.
I went home and I had some thinking oatmeal,
Yeah.
and I thought of the vape.
But here's my idea. Let's put this into practice. We'll do some A/B testing.
Oh yeah, okay.
You go to the library.
I will
Yes.
toot on a vape.
toot on a vape.
Yep.
Toot.
And see
what the response is.
Then
Next day,
go-
no.
no.
You go again.
Oh, I go
it has
again.
to be the
You
same
put your-
person.
you
'cause
put
we have to
your-
see how they would
That's
address
true.
that.
Wait,
one.
who's the control group? Also me?
Yes.
I go and I don't.
You put your Napoleon hat on, you spackle your hole a little bit, and you see what she says.
All right. First
You
of all,
go. You put it on. You go. Zut alors, mon ami.
I wear a completely different hat. When I s-
Oh, Lord. Is that how it is?
Ray, you had some interesting travel experiences.
Can I just say one
Oh,
last
good.
dumb goof?
Just feels
Because-
like we've
'cause-
already run the gamut of dumb
Oh,
goofs.
we're
on
not
us.
done. We're not done. I do like this idea that we're trying to figure out a mystery that happened in the library
Yes.
because it feels like Clue, but
Yes.
in this case, I think it's goo.
Yeah. Good. Perfect.
It would have been very funny in the moment.
Fortunately, Chuck has not been in the library because then, I mean,
I have
Yeah.
been in the library.
Here's
and
my-
I spackled holes. I actually spackled my hole in the library. I got arrested for my enema a long time ago, and my punishment was
The phrase for someone that doesn't know, I hope someone skipped that episode and they just hear that.
I got arrested for an enema, and they said your punishment is you got to rebuild that library.
Okay.
And I did. And then Brad
Yeah.
went there, and he spackled his holes. We both spackled holes in different ways.
I mean, if
Back
we
to back,
established
right?
that I had punched holes in the wall and that I eat oatmeal, I don't see how I
Earlier
could
we
not
did, so it's canon.
spackle
Right.
the holes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
So-
you did. But yeah, no, I had to rebuild the shelves in the library. And here's the thing. Like Brad said, he's like, a lot of things happen at the library. I had the same thought where I was like, wow, a lot of events. They have a gingerbread house building contest around Christmas. And if you go and you win, they're like, this is for kids. And I did go, but I was like, but gingerbread houses are for everyone.
There's nothing in the rule book.
Yeah. And
there's a dog making one.
but just to give people an actual kind of view of what's going on here, around downtown Warren, in the town that we live, is a really awesome top of the line coffee shop called the Coffee Depot. But because it's so nice and comfortable, it's often like packed.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if you
yeah.
go there to work, sometimes it can be kind of distracting, whatever. And especially like,
Especially if you're trying to masturbate.
Yeah.
and you know, I'm not saying anything, but if you're
I'm
someone
trying to
who
masturbate.
a lot of people around the area know, get a lot of people coming up to you. So I used to go. It's true.
Yeah.
I used to go to the coffee
Hey, that
depot.
guy knocked on my door and told me he moved here.
I love it when Chuck takes the humble out of humble brags.
No, I'm just saying it can be distracting.
It can be tough to be so popular.
I'm not saying I'm popular.
You know
they,
what's
they might
funny?
be saying, "Hey, this guy's infamous."
Hey,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
hey, this guy just got thrown out of the library for something. We're not sure what.
He's spackling something, but
Yes.
they redacted the last word.
This goes so much into part of what I want to talk about the cruise experience thing.
Good.
Yeah.
But we'll get there
Yeah,
later.
I'll finish this.
Yeah.
So basically, it gets really busy, and right across the street is the library.
Yeah.
So if you're like, I want to go write somewhere that's kind of quiet. If for me, Coffee Depot is too busy, I go to the library. I used to write the library constantly.
Yeah. And if I was a librarian and people came in to write, I would be like, can't you see?
We have
enough.
We don't need any more.
Stop making new ones.
Yeah.
Nobody's taking the old ones. Everybody comes in and they want the 5 new ones. That's all they ever ask for.
Yes, but it's just funny that now you go there
Yeah.
and you write as well.
Yeah.
And I do want to give you some. You said that your projects aren't moving forward,
No.
but you're working on them consistently.
Mostly consistently.
Well, how consistently?
I'm
Let's
just
be honest.
working on some different ones. Truthfully, probably the best way would be pick a lane and stay in it until I am done with that project. Instead, I'm like, all right, I've made good
Scattershot?
progress
Yeah.
here. Let me do something else. Let me try something else. Oh my gosh, I need an income at some point. Let me work on something for that. Let me look at day jobs at the Brooklyn Law School that
Yeah.
pays less than what I was making in Dartmouth, Massachusetts, even though the cost of living in Brooklyn is somewhat different.
Yeah, I will say though, such is life. We're all learning. We're working on our
Put your hat on and
bodies.
say, c'est la vie.
C'est la vie. Such is life. Zut alors. Wait, alors? And so, no, what I wanted to say is like your life is like every
A
day.
box of chocolates.
Yeah.
You got to organize your house. You got to eat well. You got to exercise. Life is about balancing all these different things. So if you're taking on 100 projects and
5.
making no progress, that sucks. If you're taking on
Or
5,
progress.
If you're taking on 5 projects and consistently making progress, I think that's okay. I think that's good.
Yeah, and I think it's perhaps a moment for you where you've been in the 9 to 5 regimented scheduling.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, it takes some time
Yes.
to get to that moment
Right.
where you go, oh, there's no
Structure.
There's no structure to this
Right.
whatsoever. I don't know what I'm supposed to work on. And as somebody that's been a full-time comedian
Yeah.
for a long time,
Right.
that feeling
Yeah.
is a part of it.
Right.
Like
For sure.
you just have to, I think you get a handle on it and recognize it and go, okay,
Yeah.
that's that feeling.
Yeah.
Put it over here.
Yeah, I don't have a handle on it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
but it's new to you. You haven't tamed it. You haven't broken that bitch.
No, it's kicking me in the face.
I think that Ray and I have both been in this
Got to
world
eat some healing oatmeal.
where it's like some weeks you're like, man, like I killed it this week. I was productive all week. I'm ahead. I'm doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then you have 3 days where you like slept a lot and did all this stuff, and you're like, what the fuck am I doing?
Sure, yeah.
And that's probably what you're in, and you have to realize there's like an ebb and flow to that.
Yeah.
I haven't ebbed. It's just flowing.
Yeah.
That's good. I think the ebb is bad. Ebb means, what does ebb mean?
It's just flowing out of me.
Oh, flow.
Time.
Is, flow
Time
yeah,
is
yeah.
flowing. I'm not
Flow is
storing up
good.
anything.
yeah.
Oh, ebb
oh
is
no.
storm?
That's also that feeling. That's the I live with that a
I've
lot.
And also-
I've overspackled.
Also, how often are you spackling your hole?
Yeah, not often enough, I guess.
Yeah. You know what I read online? It says, if you're horny, you're healthy.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I read that.
Was that no? You got to stop confusing what you read online and fortune cookies. From the funny shop.
Yes.
What if we made our own Funbearable fortune cookies?
No.
Ooh.
That would be amazing. And then you have to guess who
Feels-
made it.
Yeah.
That,
Oh,
that
right
feels
there.
like
Right.
we're crossing some lines.
No, what do you mean? We're
Why?
taking their culture and appropriating it for ourselves.
Oh, all right.
in a
I
positive
didn't
way.
realize we were
I
appropriating
mean, if
our
it
culture.
if it makes anybody feel any better, the fortune cookie
Not-
is an American.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like chop suey.
Yeah.
You know.
So if we did fortune cookies,
the song.
Yeah.
would
Wake
you
up.
do a fortune cookie? Break up.
What do you mean? Would I do a fortune
Would you
cookie?
help? Would you do some Funbearable fortune cookies?
How are we?
Would you do it? Just say yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Now, so you write some fortunes. You write some fortunes. We'll start selling them.
I had a question a long time ago. I wanted to ask this
Oh, yeah.
about
Yeah.
the masturbatorium.
Okay.
If you had to choose
Right.
Yes.
a book to
choose.
finish in,
In or on, or two.
I would say in. I'm saying you open it midway, do your business, and then
Oh.
slap it.
Probably Brad's oatmeal recipe book. He's like, I just got some
If you
oatmeal.
had to do it, what do you?
Brad takes it.
I can, you know what? I don't even want to be here. I'm the one that asked the question, and I'm ashamed that this is what our podcast
I don't
is.
have a good answer.
I thought your question was going to be more about like, do you think that there's like a 3 strikes and you're out rule? Like how
No,
often?
I think that's 1 strike and you're out.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yes.
Or go the other way. There's a punch card system.
Okay.
If you get caught 9 times,
Yeah,
the
but-
10th time they let you finish.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like a frame of bowling where it's like
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you finish, then
Yeah.
you get pins added. Let me think about this. All right. Brad likes oatmeal. He spackles his hole.
So Ray's been traveling lately.
It would be a self-help book. That's
Yeah.
what I would finish. In. A
makes
self-help
sense.
book.
That makes sense.
Because I've helped myself.
Yes.
I've had myself.
Right.
I'm going to have myself in the library now.
Don't you hate hand jobs? Isn't it the worst? Did you hate a hand job?
Let's not do it. Let's
it.
not go there.
Okay,
Ray
H-J's,
traveled
H-J's.
lately.
Let's not. But no, yeah, of course they're not. They're
What are you doing to me?
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Go away. You
Oh.
and your claws.
Oh Jesus.
I hate it. I hate
Let's pivot.
Leave
Yes.
me alone.
How
Stop.
hard
I'm
can we
trying to
pivot?
sleep.
I hope 180 degrees worth.
Who
right.
who are you?
Can you turn his mic down?
Aren't you interested in what happened to me? No.
We're doing the cruise thing. That's you guys said. You texted me yesterday and said, you know that the first episode we record, it's going to be all about the cruise. It has to be. And I'm like, okay, fine. And now we're here, and you're like, but what about hand jobs in a library? And it's the children's book section.
Brad brought all this crazy shit
Oh,
to the
look.
table with the
This is
calming
just
oatmeal and spackling
Chuck
his own
just
hole.
getting so horny reading The Hungry Caterpillar.
you're
What's he
horny-
gonna eat next? What's he
I've
gonna
got
eat
something.
next?
If you're horny, you're healthy.
Okay.
All right.
Then
That'll
you are
be
the
a-
healthiest person I've ever met.
I wish we could
you.
go to a sponsor right now just to have a firm
Yeah,
like
well,
this is the
Chuck
end.
needs to talk to his sponsor.
Thank
Do you need to spackle your holes? Brad's
So
oatmeal.
Ray's been traveling lately.
All right. I've never felt this way on the podcast because we do often
Yeah.
talk over each other and stuff. This is the first time I'm gonna say it. Chuck, shut up. You're too happy and excited to be podcasting right now,
I can't
and it's
believe
too much.
the oatmeal thing and the spackling hole thing.
Yeah.
This is amazing. It's a good day. I love it that you ate calming oatmeal.
It is a day.
It is
a day.
It is a day
It is a
in
day.
our lives.
Yep.
All right, Ray, what's up?
You've been traveling.
No one wants to hear about my whole spackling thoughts.
Let it go.
Go ahead.
Let's take a moment.
I hate our big boy cups. Can I tell you that? They're embarrassing.
I like that it doesn't have a name on it.
Yeah, me too.
Yes, I've been gone
Yes.
for a little bit of time.
Right.
Emotionally?
I left the country.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Emotionally, I've been like
Yeah, I
I
was gonna
checked out
say.
like 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
But no, I left the country. I did a cruise,
Okay.
not for pleasure,
Right. But
for business,
right.
Not for
a work,
pleasure.
work cruise.
It was a work cruise,
And you
You'd
on
love
this
it.
work cruise, you were a comedian?
I was a comedian on the work cruise.
Okay.
So
Third cruise.
I've never done a cruise before. I've never been on a cruise as like a passenger for fun times.
Right.
I've never been a crew member on a cruise.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh, captain?
I've never been a captain. I've never been Shanghai.
First
Oh,
mate.
okay.
What's that?
First mate?
Nope.
Gilligan.
No.
Sloop John B.
Nope. Nor was I Marianne or Ginger. Marianne Ginger. I gotta go home.
Zutadors.
Murder victim.
No.
Yes.
I wish I maybe sometimes could have been.
Okay.
I know.
But
I feel like that's going to...
no, it's so long story short, there's someone who's been asking me to do they're like a cruise ship agent kind of person.
Okay.
They've been asking me to do this, and I have been cautiously talking about it and maybe going to do it and that kind of stuff.
Right.
And so in comedy, when you do a cruise, it's a thing that happens, and the money is good.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the thing.
As another comedian that has done like a ton of cruises said to me when I was talking about going on one, they were like, the money is just good enough to keep you doing it, right?
Got it.
Like
Yeah.
that's what it
Yeah.
is. So I wanted to do it just to see what the experience would be,
Sure.
and I had the experience.
And is this like I don't know.
Yeah.
Is this like a huge boat?
Oh yeah.
All right.
So, Brad, you've never been on a cruise?
I've never been on a
I've never
cruise.
been on a cruise either.
Yeah,
Not even as a murder victim.
Right. This was my first time doing this.
Yeah.
And I've never been on any kind of situation like that. Like I've been on a ferry to
Yeah.
go to like Block Island or
Me too.
Nantucket or something
I
like
went on
that.
the Staten Island ferry recently.
I don't.
Yeah,
think-
see, there you go.
I don't even know that I've done that.
I've done the Bait Queen out of Warren too.
Nope.
It's just
I took a bath once.
you got to keep going. But no, it's a very strange experience, and like it was a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm still processing. I just got back, not yesterday, the day before,
Right.
and I mean like late at night.
And so this is like out of like you need a passport and customs. And
yeah, so I was in the
Duty free?
Caribbean.
So
Right.
this is one of the things that shocked me, and we're going to get into it.
Yeah.
Is that you basically had shows 2 nights, but it basically took like almost 6 days of your life.
Yes,
That's what's crazy.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
The whole experience was bizarre.
Yeah.
So I they made the offer for this particular cruise,
Right.
and I was like, I'll do this because it's a shorter experience. It's
Right.
only a 4-day thing, but it was really like 5 or 6. And I agreed to do it just to see what it was like.
Yeah,
Dip my
sure.
toe, find out what this thing is like.
Right.
Because there's also a lot of like cliche and stereotype that comes along with cruise ship comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is changing, which I think is interesting. Like a lot of ships are recognizing like, hey, this is a thing that young people like too.
Right.
Yeah.
So like my friend Rafi Gonzalez, another comedian, super funny. He's on like a lot of the Carnival cruises right now. He's doing a bunch of that stuff,
Right.
and it's essentially a comedy club on the boat, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
This was for another cruise line, and just I don't know what the deal is, so I'm just not gonna say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just in case.
Right.
Oh, which cruise line it is?
Yeah.
I know a huge entertainment one that does like all the big ones that I was actually in talks with. Was doing like the Warp Tour one. They were
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
the 311 one, and I think they did the Impractical Jokers one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
There's-
it's an
and
interesting
there is a lot of
culture.
comedy stuff going on in
For
that
sure.
kind of stuff, right?
Burt
There's-
Kreischer's cruise is coming up for
Right.
the first time this year.
And there's a bunch of other cruises that have happened with comedians.
Yes.
I mean, there's like wrestling ones. There's like
For
all these
sure.
different things. So anyway, I agreed to do it. I had to go to the Caribbean and the Caribbean Islands, whatever.
yeah, I think it's either or.
And so I woke up at 2:30 in the morning
Good.
on Friday. Left for Boston. I drove to Boston. Got on a flight. Went to Newark. Waved out the window at you in Staten Island, and there were
way
a lot
back.
of police cars around the
Yeah.
house.
That's how you know where it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Nice landmark.
I am really close to the Newark airport.
Oh, okay, that's good to know.
I flew out of there to go to Louisiana.
yeah, this is good to know.
Yeah.
Maybe
Oh,
I'll-
yeah. If you ever,
Yeah.
honestly, if you ever wanted to go out of there,
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. It's
And when
probably,
I'm at your place, I do want to go out of there.
it's probably like 20 minutes.
But I
Like-
don't know the combination.
Yes. I do want to get out of there, but like at 700 miles an hour.
And very high up.
Yeah.
But so and then I flew to St. Martin,
Okay.
and that is an island in the Caribbean.
Got it.
And I got there, and then I waited 6 hours in the airport.
Ooh, got a book? Reading a book?
I was reading comics. I
Nice.
read a ton of comics.
Good.
Holy cow! I went through so many backlog comics.
Did you read Last Ronin?
I read Last Ronin.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I loved it, and then by the end, I think it got bloated. I think there was it got too big, and there were too many things going on, and it kind of pivoted. Have you guys read it?
Yeah.
I didn't finish the last chapter.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, like with
Yeah.
a lot of
I
the
can see
stuff
that.
there.
Yep.
And I would say the strongest stuff is like the first half.
Right.
But I still really enjoyed
Very
it.
cool.
It was still very, very good, and I liked it a lot.
Little addendum. There that was like so
I
successful.
don't think. Listen, I think your addendum is perfectly average. Sorry.
It did so well, and it was like so like enjoyed that they're making a side series called the Last Ronin: The Lost Years.
That's
and it's-
right,
and
yeah.
it's leading up to it.
Yeah.
I
which is
think
coming out
2
now.
issues are out now.
Yeah, very cool.
One that I read that I really liked. I read the 2. I have all my comics on my iPad. That's how I'm
Yeah,
able
for
to like,
sure.
travel with this stuff.
Yeah.
But I read the 2 paper or trade paperbacks. Yeah,
Yeah.
TPBs
TPB.
of The Good Asian, and it's phenomenal. It's a what you're
It just-
talking right, but you're already like I'm out. I don't want it.
I was gonna say there is one.
I gotta go. I gotta go.
He did it. He's the one that put it in my brain.
Okay. No, The Good Asian
kidding.
is really great. It's a phenomenal comic book series. It's a noir comic.
Okay.
Yes.
Think Chinatown.
Yep.
Right? Because it
Yeah.
takes place in Chinatown.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
And it is from the perspective of like the one Asian detective in Chinatown.
Oh, that's
okay.
cool.
Yep.
In a time when like it's historic. That's the most interesting part of the comic is like it's a good noir story.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it is so researched.
Yes.
It is historically accurate to its time.
Very cool.
And it's talking all about a lot of the situations that were going on in Chinatown,
Yes.
a lot of the anti-Asian stuff that was happening,
Right.
and literally going through and like, so Eisenhower did this, and then this act was introduced. This is how the police were in Chinatown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These were the phrases. These were the things going on.
Yeah.
And it was really, really fascinating.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So I really loved that series, The Good Asian. I recommend it.
Did you ever read Black Sad?
Black Sad, no.
So basically, what it is like a very adult noir story.
Yeah.
But it's told through the lens of like Disney quality cartoons.
Yeah.
And it's
Oh,
French.
that's fun.
It's French, and it was eventually
Yeah.
translated because it won like all these awards and
Right.
stuff like that. It's incredible. You read a bunch of Black Sad, right?
I know, just like the
first-
main, yeah.
Well, awesome though, right?
Oh, it was great.
Yeah, I'll have
it's,
to check it
it's
out.
so good. Black Sad.
Yeah.
It's really, really
Yeah.
great.
But so I would say that was like the highlight of the whole trip for me was I'm not kidding, like
Yeah, I
going through and really reading a ton of the comics
Yes.
that I have.
Yep.
Because on my iPad comic reading app,
Yeah.
it's like there's like 147 comics
Yeah.
in there, and I'm like, I'll get there,
Yeah.
I'll get there, and so
That's how I feel too, by the way, in terms of my tablet with comics. I'm just like,
yeah, I love
Yeah.
it though. It's
Me
great.
too, me too.
So wait the 6 hours, and then I'm taking my connecting flight from St. Martin's to St. Kitts.
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
only a half-hour flight.
Yep.
So they call the thing finally,
yeah.
and we stand by a curb outside.
Oh, okay.
There's 8 other people,
Exciting.
and
Curb.
we get on a bus
Okay.
on the tarmac,
Lots of travel.
and we take the bus to the plane.
Okay.
The plane
Mm-hmm.
is smaller than the bus. And yeah,
I knew you were in a small plane. That's small.
Are we
Yeah.
propellers or jet engines?
propellers.
Yeah.
A two propeller.
Have you ever been on a propeller plane?
Never. And I've never even been on like any type of smaller plane.
It's
It's not
horrifying.
fun.
No,
Yeah.
it's terrifying. So, and I'm 6'7",
Yeah.
morbidly
it's not
obese.
fun for me. 5'11", only kind of obese.
He's overweight by
You're
one.
no beast, okay?
He's overweight by 1 pound.
I'm overweight. Currently by 9 pounds. But
Yeah.
like a small plane.
Horrifying.
It's like loud. It feels like taped together. In
Yes,
my experience,
yes.
and this was like 2003, 2004, and I was flying the Northwest Arkansas Regional Airport. I think it's no longer regional. Like the flights in there were all prop planes, and I hated it.
Oh my
it was
God.
horrifying. And the St. Martin's airport has the world's shortest runway.
Cool. Yeah, that's
That's
gotta
a
feel
real
good.
thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen on like Instagram or anywhere else, like a clip of people on a beach and planes landing like 10 feet above their heads,
Yeah.
that's St. Martin's. So
And then how long is the flight to St. Kitts?
a half hour.
Okay.
How did you find out that it was the world's shortest runway?
Because I was looking at St. Martin's stuff when I found out what plane I was going to be on.
Okay,
and
because if I was
looking this up.
St. Martin's, I'd be like,
Yeah.
we gotta hide that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
terrifying
Yeah.
on top of the small plane
Yeah,
thing.
it was the whole thing was horrifying. Like I talked about it for my sets,
Yeah.
because you have to do two different 45-minute sets on
Right.
the boat.
Mm-hmm.
So the first night with the 2 sets that I was doing that are the same,
Right.
like 15 minutes was just talking about the plane ride. So
Yeah.
we get on the plane. I got in the plane. I
Yeah.
didn't get on the plane. I got in the plane.
Yeah.
It's the kind of plane where they open the door.
Yep.
And then there's 2 metal wires holding the door stairs.
Yep.
The door is stairs.
Yes.
And then we climb on. I let everybody go ahead of me because I don't want to slow people down.
Right.
So there are crew members
Yes.
out on the next to the plane watching me get on the plane, and I knew this wasn't a good situation when I looked at their faces as I'm climbing those little stairs, and they are like is it gonna hold? Right? Like they were truly like, I don't know if this is gonna work. And then I got on
There's
the plane.
two in the background, and they're like placing bets.
Yeah. And it's like I finally get on, and they're like, oh, okay, fine. And I got on the plane, and it was genuinely terrifying. I'm sitting right next to those little stairs.
Yep.
We hit turbulence.
Ooh.
And people that take this plane all the time, this was like a 9-seat fucking plane.
Yep.
And the people that take it all the time are clutching each other. Clutching. There's two girls that are clearly like, locals to this thing,
Right.
and they're just hopping islands
Yep.
and stuff. They are reaching across and grabbing onto each other when this is happening. I'm just shitting my pants. I'm like, this is horrifying, right? This is so scary. I've never been in a plane where, like, when you take a regular jet,
Yes.
when you turn,
Yes.
you don't really feel it. Maybe
No.
you feel it a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
You just see the window.
Yes,
It goes,
exactly.
all sky. Okay,
Yes,
right?
yes.
I've never been in a plane where it's not this axis
Right.
that you feel, the tilt.
Yeah.
I literally felt the plane turn. Like, oh, we're taking a left.
Yep.
And the plane turns left. It's insane.
It's not a bank, it's a turn.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just so fucking scary. It was 30 minutes of just like grabbing, white knuckling the seat in front of me. It was horrifying. It was so scary.
I have a small plane story. I was interviewing at the University of South Carolina in Columbia, South Carolina, flew to Raleigh-Durham, take a very small plane from Raleigh-Durham to
Of ESP.
Columbia. And yes. And so we're up, we hit turbulence, similar thing, probably
Yeah.
slightly larger than your plane, hit turbulence, but like one big drop.
Oh, I hate that. I can't stand that.
The woman behind me literally shit herself.
Yeah.
But she's older and like nobody
Yeah.
wants to say anything. The odor is obvious.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, we're all going to forgive that one. Like,
Yeah.
you
You said this to the plane? Excuse me. We're all going to forgive that one.
yeah.
This one right here.
attention, lady. But it was the same thing where I was like, oh, I'm not used to feel like that much turbulence in a large plane.
Yeah.
Is one thing, but to be like, oh, we're more fragile than that. I empathize, I sympathize, all of the thighs
Yeah.
with you for this short flight.
Yeah,
There's a couple thighs I'd want to stay away from.
I made the joke that the next night on the boat, I made the joke of like, there's no bathroom on the plane because everybody shits themselves
Yes.
as you take off,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah,
what it is.
yeah.
There was no air conditioning in the plane,
Nice.
and this was fun because I was like, the hack joke was like, because you roll the windows down,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But in the seat back in front of you,
Yeah.
what they had. Paper fans.
Whoa!
Paper fans. I just broke this microphone and I don't care. Paper fans.
To do what with?
To cool yourself off. To fan yourself.
Like you're in the
Like-
1920s
like
and you're a rich
fold
woman?
out?
not
Not
like
fold out.
Not
Okay,
like
so you
that.
can't do
it
a
was
dance with
it
it.
was one that like it said like thanks for flying whatever this is.
Right.
And it was like it looked like a paper ping pong paddle.
Yeah, all right. So and
Wow.
that's
You're supposed
that's
to
like
go
a
like this.
church fan.
Yeah.
I
And-
didn't even think that those existed in the modern age.
That's what this. I was in Indiana Jones's plane. You know what I mean? Like that's what I was.
snakes.
Yeah. Right. There was.
That snake falls.
Come to think of it, there was like a little kid running after it,
Yes.
going, "Mr. Ray!" Oh no, I don't want to.
Nope, don't do the voice.
Nope.
Powered by snakes.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't. They had the fans, and I made the joke that night of like, I figured if one of the engines shut off, we could all just stick our hands out and flap our way to safety.
Yeah, that's funny.
It was horrifying.
Did you make that joke on stage?
Yeah.
How'd it
yeah.
go?
Oh, killed.
That's good.
I'll get
just
into that stuff in a minute
the
too.
pilot, you take the pilot hat off and you're like, snake. He puts it back on. You're like,
Yeah. And then the pilot turns around and is a snake.
yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So I get to St. Kitts. I get off the plane.
Right.
The airport there is like a small building. There's 3 people there that are just like, "Where are you coming from? Where are you from? Where do you live?"
this plane.
And I'm like, "Okay, all right." And
What's-
it was
is there an
customs. It
accent?
was like a fast custom. Yeah, but I'm not doing the accent.
What is the accent?
Just Caribbean.
St. Kitts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
St. Kitts, Caribbean accent. Yeah.
Okay, like there's a Muppet that's Caribbean. Isn't there a newer Muppet that's Caribbean?
What?
Like in the early 2000s? I'm not kidding. Wasn't there one?
Probably.
Okay.
I don't know where Benson Honeydew is from. No, that's Beaker.
I know. He had a Beaker accent.
Okay, so I land at St. Kitts and everybody's like, like that. That's it. So you get it. You get it. I don't want to do it. It's insensitive. It's culturally insensitive. They all had steel drums and they're going meep 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 meep. Right?
You felt skins.
Yeah. Yeah, you wire hands. So
We have to come up with more slurs for Muppets. Got a couple ping pong ball eyes over there.
So I'm waiting outside of the airport after going through that process, right? I'm waiting outside the airport. I'm just waiting for my pickup.
Right.
But no one's there with the sign, right? And
Yeah,
I'm like,
a great feeling.
yeah, and it's like 9:00 at night. I've been traveling since 2:30 in the morning.
Good.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I'm like, I want to die.
I hate that feeling.
Yeah, it's the
fucking
worst.
Hate that feeling.
So I'm waiting for the person to come. Finally, an unmarked, like no name on it, anything.
Yeah.
Tiny Kia pulls up. A tiny black Kia
Yep.
pulls up. There's a guy driving. A woman gets out. She has a clipboard and it says Raymond Harrington on it.
That's you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm getting in that car. And
Raymond Harrington uses one of those fans.
excuse me.
You have the big white hat.
I swear it is hot as the devil's boot out here. I don't know why I'm like a Louisiana.
yeah.
No, it's the seersucker suit. That's why.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm the Louisiana judge. That's my character. I will pull that character out from time to time. My friend Lee Leshin, he fills his pants whenever he hears this. He
Right.
loves it.
Like the old lady or the other way?
The other way, front library way. He checks out a book every time I do that. But yeah, that's me out there just sweating. I'm the fat guy that Indiana Jones gets information from,
Got it,
right?
got it,
Like
yeah.
That's it.
So I get in this car and they're driving me to the hotel, right? And the girl, the woman, she clearly works for whatever company is doing this, right?
Okay. Yeah.
The guy, he doesn't have the polo on.
Yeah.
And he's just blasting hip hop in the car and he's
Yeah.
driving. And I had a moment where I was like, I just got in this car because they had my name printed on a piece of paper.
That's all it takes.
Yes.
There's no name on the side of the car or anything. I'm like, I guess I'm being trafficked, right? Right? So they drive.
You sound jolly about it. That's
Yeah,
good.
hey, oh, wow, this is an adventure. Oh, you're putting me in the trunk? Okay, that's fine. Please. Oh, I know. My legs are so long.
Big trunk. A lot of space.
Can I be honest with you? It'll be easier for everybody if you'd let me just walk to the car. You don't have to carry me. You don't have to carry me. You can't. You can't.
All
carry
right.
me.
All right. Give it a shot.
Okay. Told you. Well, now we're both uncomfortable.
I love this character being kidnapped.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be polite. Go along with it. They say if you talk and tell them about yourself, you make yourself more human to them. It humanizes you as a victim. And so that's what you got to do.
So anyway,
My mother's name is Martha.
Yeah. Anybody?
Just
No? Yeah, I hated the movie too.
Not Justice League fans here.
No,
No.
nobody. No,
you guys a bunch of Marvel guys,
How
huh?
about this? Release me, not the Snyder cut. Release me. Anybody? Listen, I have a Belvita peanut butter breakfast bar in my backpack. If you could just put that in the trunk with me, I'd be really appreciative. I haven't eaten since Florida.
Guys, could I maybe do a bathroom stop before it's not for me. I don't want to mess up your trunk.
Honestly.
I could watch an hour and a half of you being kidnapped and the kidnappers are inside.
And I'm just trying to humanize with the whole time create some kind of bond.
Did you wave that fan at me? It is as hot as the devil's boot.
Actually, it's really funny. I think about, here's the movie. It's 4 minutes of you're getting ready and they're like, listen, you might get kidnapped. That happens a lot in this country. What you want to do is you want to...
Yeah, that's 4 minutes. And that's in an hour and 26 of me. Just anybody have any food allergies or anything?
Let's play mental go fish. You haven't ate. And the guy goes, go fish.
Let's see.
That's what breaks through.
Listen, just to pass the time, I'm going to say this. I see something black. I see something black. It's the hood over my head. Does anybody have an idea? Okay, you, the one with the face tattoo, you go next. You go next. Nothing. What's that? What's the meaning behind that tattoo? Does that mean something? Like, is that something from your parents or something like that?
Do you guys have the license plate game here? I can't. You gotta play for me.
You should tell me. You should definitely tell me what your license plate is. That
I'll
would be
remember it.
fun.
I'll remember it.
Oh no, I'll forget it. I'll forget it quickly. You know what I'm bad at?
I went to
recognizing faces.
I went to the grocery store and I came home with apples. All right, you go next. You get the letter B.
Try to figure out the pattern. Hint. It's alphabetical.
If my hands were free, I'd offer to do charades, but that's not going to happen. So,
Hey, on my iPad, I have some comics. Could you just read them out
just
loud
read
and
'em.
describe the pictures
describe
to me?
the pictures to me, please.
Are you guys comic guys? I know you're not DC, but like
I do comedy. I've got a fun bit about hot air balloons. Anybody familiar? Anyway,
Yeah.
we got all right. Yeah. But yeah, so they get me to the hotel. I get to the
You were
hotel.
not trafficked.
I was not trafficked.
No. There's a character.
And so at this point, it's like 10:30.
Okay.
And I'm told by the woman she's going to meet me at 9 in the morning to take me to the boat. And I get to the hotel. I just want to get to the room.
Yep.
Yes.
And I
You've
check
been awake
in.
for 20 hours at this point.
Yeah.
Traveling.
The worst.
Yeah.
And then the woman at the desk it's like one of those like resort places where in a warmer climate where it's like all open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so she's like, "Oh, you're gonna need a security guard to show you how to get to your room." Because it's like this huge compound.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have to sit and wait for like 10 minutes for somebody to come.
Security guard shows up, doesn't have a polo. It's just a guy.
Yeah, it's just a guy.
You're like, oh,
and then
here we go
I
again.
gotta schlep all my shit to the
Yep.
the room. It's like 11:30 by the time I'm in there, and I pass out.
Yeah.
Right. And it was like, you know that feeling of traveling where you're like, I just want to be in the room.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah. And then the next day, she picks me up. We go over to the boat. We go through this
Well, can you
process.
give me
I get
this-
on the boat. Now
Okay.
we've taken all this time, and I just got on the boat. And
Yeah,
I'm
exactly,
so sorry,
yeah.
but it was that travel process was fucking bananas.
Oh, dude, the whole thing where you're like, you wake up and it's like, 3:30 in the morning, whatever it is, and it's dark, and you're telling yourself, okay, it's going to be a long day.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm going to bring my snack and I'm going to bring my this, and it's going to be a long day, but I'm going to be okay. And you just got to like push yourself into that space of
I
being
just
like,
segment the things.
Oh,
I
my
woke up and I'm like,
God.
all right, I just need to get ready to leave by 3:30 in the morning.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
have to leave, so I have 1 hour, and I'll just take a shower and I'll get ready and I'll grab my stuff. Don't forget anything.
Yep.
I forgot my watch as a comedian.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Nightmare.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, just get to Boston, get to the flight. Don't miss the flight. Just do that. All right, I'm gonna do that now. I just need to get to my connection. Right, I in Newark. So that day was 3 planes that got smaller and smaller and smaller.
Yep.
Yeah.
A car that was very small. This nice resort. There
Yeah.
was a beautiful pool, all lit up with LED right outside my patio door for this
Ooh,
huge
yeah.
room. I couldn't enjoy any of it.
No,
Right,
no.
Of course.
but yeah, so the cruise itself, we've taken so much time to get to this part. I will say, like I had some really positive experiences and some really weird experiences at the same
So,
time.
like during the day, because presumably you're performing your comedy act.
Yeah.
You're telling your jokes and your sketches.
when you say my
No,
comedy
that's so
act,
funny. It was so like,
Yeah.
it felt condescending. I know it
oh,
wasn't.
it did.
no,
It
no,
did.
no. It was like
I wish you said your little comedy act.
Yeah.
That's the only way it could have been.
you're
Yeah,
performing your little comedy act.
And then I pull out my
stage.
ventriloquist dummy. He's the racist one. It's what he said. I'm like, oh, I can't believe you say that.
This guy hates
about
felt skins.
Felt skins.
So presumably you have to be ready at in the theater or at a certain time.
Yeah.
Rest of the day, yours to spend as you like. You're
Yeah,
on the
and-
Lido deck. You're shuffleboarding.
Yeah. So, so I was told by the agent that was doing this,
Right.
that has been asking me to do this for a while.
Right.
This boat, demographically,
Okay.
we're looking at 30, 40, 50s.
Right.
Like 30s, 40s, 50s. I get on that boat. No.
Okay.
I found out later that the median age,
Right. Nice.
Median age.
Yep.
Right. was 68.
Woo!
Yeah. So them's old people.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I love it.
So I get on the boat And I was also told like you're probably not going to have to do a show the night that you get on the boat,
Right.
Because it's an excursion day, it's a shore day, right? Port day.
Yep.
As soon as I walk on, they hand me my paperwork and stuff, and they're like, "So you have 2 shows tonight."
They hand you a microphone and you're like,
Yeah,
"What?"
yeah. It felt like that.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yeah, you have 2 shows tonight in the main theater."
Nice.
Which is huge.
Yep.
It's a 850, I think.
Whew.
850 seat
Right.
theater. I see the theater. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful. Like it's like Vegas level quality stuff in this.
Right.
Because these ships are essentially Vegas casinos
Right.
on the
Right.
waters,
Right.
right? This was like a summer camp for elderly people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had those 2 shows to do. Again, like the people running all of that stuff, all the tech people, all those people are fucking amazing.
Yeah.
The crew behind the scenes that no one ever sees are incredible at doing this.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
I've never been on a boat before like this.
Yeah.
I've been on other boats, but not a cruise ship.
Are you like, and then again, having never been on a cruise, like, are
Yeah.
you feeling?
Not that night.
Okay.
So that night I do my shows. The first show is packed.
Good.
Like standing room only. Nice. Elderlies are standing
Wow.
in the aisles and sitting on the stairs and all this other stuff. And they told me afterwards it was like probably 950, somewhere
Okay.
around there.
Yeah.
Nine, like low nines.
Yeah.
And I have no idea what doing well is on a ship.
Right.
Every kind of comedy show is different. Like a club, I know what a club feels like.
Yeah.
Generally, with a theater, I know what that feels like.
Right.
A one-nighter, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it depends on the crowd, too.
Right.
Sometimes you do something and it's an older crowd. It could be at a club.
Yeah.
And just, tonight there was a bunch of
Yeah.
older people.
Right.
Yep.
Or young people, who knows? I had no idea. And the cruise director woman, she was super cool. Jody from South Africa, wonderful woman. She is like, "Oh, no, you killed, like you destroyed, no
Yeah.
one left." And I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, no one left."
Oh, yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
a free thing on
Yeah.
a cruise.
That's why I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what it is, because people will go to a comedy show on the cruise
Yeah.
ship, and then if in like 5 minutes, like the minute of any of the 45 minutes, they go, they just leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's no sunk cost.
Yeah, there's no cost, and there's a dozen other things that they can do at
Right,
that time
right.
for free as well.
Yeah. It's spackle oatmeal.
Yeah, exactly.
And as opposed to being like, we're going to leave this comedy club that we made plans to go to, they're like, we're going to walk 5 minutes to where we sleep.
Yeah. Or, right next door or one deck up.
Yes.
There's we can go learn how to do steel drum, or there's
Ooh.
another show.
Oh,
happening.
yeah. I would have gone
I was
going to
say,
steel drum
me and
thing.
Brad are.
Yeah.
But think about it this
He's
way.
like, how did I do?
So they have 3 stages in this place. The main theater,
Yeah.
then there was another like smaller venue, and then there was like a larger open space venue as well.
Okay.
Those are just the stages, and things are happening on those stages at the same time.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that's
Yeah.
what's going, and all day long in the theater. So it went well. I
Good.
felt good about that. I was so fucking out of it. I was jet lagged. I
Yep.
was exhausted.
Yeah.
First night on the boat, calm waters, felt good. The next day, I had to do 2 more sets in the Vista Lounge, which was at the back of the boat.
Yeah.
And that's like the
I
more.
believe it's aft. Maybe.
You. You gave me flashbacks for a second. But yeah, so I was back there, and that's the second night is
Yeah.
the second set that you have to do the other
Right.
45. And it was rough wooders, my friend. I was taking bonine, which is like Dramamine, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I had to take extra that day, and I had to put on these C6
Nice.
straps.
Yeah.
The first show, like, it was fucking rough.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like just getting to the show, I'm like stumbling all over the place.
Yeah.
It's packed again.
Right.
And like one person at the end of the whole trip was just like, "Oh yeah, your show's in the Vista Lounge. Like I've never seen these old people move faster to get to those shows." So like
Oh, that's
it was
great.
nice. It's
Yeah.
all positive.
Yes, right,
These
right.
are all positives.
Yep.
But I am out of my element. I'm a fish out of water that's now in water.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So does that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
We should start marketing Funbearable to these people.
Yeah.
Do a Funbearable cruise.
Yeah, we could teach them.
No.
We could have instead of steel drums upstairs, how to listen to podcasts. So if you want more of Ray,
Yeah.
come upstairs.
And if it's that age, we can just teach them how to get podcasts.
that's right. Yeah, exactly.
So this is a smartphone, right? But no, so that was the weirdest experience of like doing that set with the stage moving.
Right.
yeah.
I don't like it. It's awful. Somebody later was like, "Yeah, you were pretty green in that first show." The second show, like things calmed down,
Right.
but like that first show, I am drenched in sweat,
Right.
moving around the stage, and just like, so I got an 8-year-old, right? Like it was horrifying.
I wish we had time to like train you to and we like build a stage and we're controlling it.
To get you ready for that.
Oh, hey, no, it's working, guys. All right.
It's just the stage on top of a mechanical bull. and
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
like, deal with it, Ray.
Well, what's funny is like Ray's talking about this idea of like having to do stand up on a boat that's moving and actually having to stumble a little bit. I've never seen that. I've never even seen a video of someone, and you'd think you would have seen that.
Yeah.
Plus,
They do not allow any filming.
don't
yeah.
they have bands play?
Yeah.
Imagine.
Dude, they have
whole
they put
band
on whole
I'm
shows.
missing my steel drum because it keeps sliding away.
Dude, forget the band. Like they have full on like dancers, like Vegas show shit going
Right.
on that ship.
Seeing-
There are women in high heels dancing during that kind of stuff.
Seeing that on rough
I had to
seas,
take off my heels.
It sounds like an Impractical Joker's punishment.
Right.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It was
I
a
like
lot.
that there's a trapeze act and then the boat hits a
They
swell.
hit the ceiling. Yeah. But here's where
Man,
it
the
gets,
Flying Graysons. I can't wait to see them.
Here's where it gets fucking weird. This is the bizarre part that I didn't really anticipate.
Yeah.
I anticipated the opposite. I was
Yeah.
worried about the negative, not the positive.
Yeah.
The thing I was scared of as a comedian was like, well, what if I don't do well?
Right.
What if I bomb? What if it's just an show?
Yeah.
And I'm stuck on this boat with all these people
Yeah.
looking at me like they don't even want to make eye contact
You
with
keep
me.
trying with your little comedy.
Yeah,
act.
yeah. Something.
Yeah.
We thought you were funny.
Yeah.
You know, something like that.
I know.
I did very well.
Yeah.
So let me try and insert the humble back into humble brag.
Yeah. It's been missing at this.
I did very well.
Feels weird.
It was I felt, let me put it this way. I felt relief and a little bit of pride, but like mostly just, okay, I did my job well.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that, I feel good. This
Like-
was my first time doing this.
Yeah, I'm in a new space, and I don't really know exactly what new challenges are going to come my way.
Right.
How is the audience going to
I didn't
react
even have
differently?
my watch. I'm doing my set out of order because
Yes.
I had to split it for 2 different 45s. Like
Right.
all these things are going on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool, I did well.
You're essentially
Awesome.
pivoting as a performing artist.
Yeah. And that's my new act. It's just me pivoting.
Ever
That's
since
what I
the
do.
boat, that's all he does.
Yeah. I got Heelys. and
I want you to you have little tap shoes. It's part of it. You worked it in.
And then I have this great bit at the end. It's mostly prop based, but I do this whole thing about being abducted.
Yeah.
The trick is the ropes actually have Velcro in them, so I can pop them right off. I learned it from Pudini. Anyway, never mind. I'm so tired. But the weird experience was this, and Chuck, I think you hit on this idea when you were talking about the cafe that you go to in Warren. Only this really happened.
Yes. It does happen.
I felt like I signed up for a 72-hour immersive alternative reality where I became an A-list celebrity.
The Raymond Show, like the Truman Show.
Yes, trying to go through life like, nope, you don't have any of the privacy stuff. You have to, hey, Tom Cruise, you now have to just go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't prepared for it. Again, this is not a brag. It was just weird.
Yeah.
Right? I stepped out the way it is, like I slept in the like where the crew stuff is, right? On a cot.
Yeah.
And next to a guy named Meat. No, but in my cabin and shit, you go outside a little bit and then you come back in and then you're in where like the regular passengers are, right?
Okay.
The customers.
Yeah.
So I go in there and I'm a guest entertainer, which is a gray area. I can't use the crew mess hall. I can't use the crew areas to hang out or anything like
Right.
that. I have to go to the public space, but I'm sleeping in like the crew area. I have a crew cabin,
Got it.
but I have to go to like the regular restaurant and all that stuff. And I walked out, and after I walked out that morning, nowhere. I could go nowhere.
Oh.
You know what's so funny too?
What?
You're not even like the regular height of a person. You
I'm
stand out
yeah, exactly,
so much.
exactly.
You
Yeah.
can't even hide.
No, I can't just blend in.
I wish you had like a hajib or like like a thing that you're trying to hide in.
Let's just let it go.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
job,
yeah, it's fine.
PG. So no, but even if you did, we're like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go sunglasses, hat.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
still a head above everyone.
Look at that big, tall, fat detective.
I'll also say, you had messaged us some of the stuff that had gone on, and Chuck
Yeah.
said, I feel so bad for Ray because he's going through all of this alone. If you and I
Yeah.
were in this situation, at least we have each other to like joke around with about being trafficked or whatever.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
also, if Chuck and Brad kill at a comedy show, we can sit at a 2-person table at a restaurant and kind of shut out the world.
Yeah, no.
Less so.
You know what I tried?
That?
I tried taking my AirPods, putting them in. I had them in the whole day.
I think
Didn't
with
stop anything.
younger crowd, I think it works.
Maybe. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say you tried putting your backpack across from you with a little hat on it.
yeah. He's sleeping.
This is my ugly friend.
Jan Sport?
Yeah.
It's Jan. But no, like everywhere I went, and I know this is not bragging. It was weird, and I don't like it. And I like people did things I would never do to someone,
Right.
It's nice to hear, hey, we really enjoyed you.
Yes.
And if
Yeah.
I'm walking by and you go, great show last night, really enjoyed it.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Most people were like, we saw both shows and you were so funny. Great. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you had fun, right?
Yep.
These are nice things to hear. But it was everywhere all the time.
Yeah.
Everything everywhere all at once.
Yes.
Like I couldn't go anywhere I went. Anywhere I went on the ship, it was happening. If I went to eat, I'm sitting down, I'm eating. People are coming to the table and talking to me about stuff like my mouth is full and people are doing that. I had a woman follow me through the buffet line. They have multiple restaurants and then
Right.
they have like the general, this is always open, you can go here place.
Yeah.
And I went there for lunch. There was like this little old lady who followed me through the buffet line. She wasn't getting anything.
Okay, that was my next question.
No,
Yeah.
she wasn't behind me like picking things and
Yeah.
doing. I'm trying to go through it and like I just want a sandwich. I got to find the sandwich. And she's standing, not even getting anything, following me through to the point where I just had to step out of it and let her talk to me.
Yeah.
And then go back to the beginning and try and eat.
Right.
There were times where I would go to a place for lunch or something or dinner, and I would have a plate and I would put it down, and there would be tables around me, and they'd all be like, "Ray," and they'd start talking to me about stuff. I'm like, "Oh yeah. I'm gonna get a coffee," and I would just abandon the plate.
Yeah.
I would just abandon the plate, and I would go to the other side of the ship. It was untenable. Like it was everything all the time.
Yeah.
It was insane. And I know this sounds like, oh, woe is me.
Right.
People liked you, but it went beyond. It went beyond just like, ooh, I got complimented a lot. And it did go to this place. And it's because the other entertainment people, they're in the crew section.
Yeah.
They're not coming out.
Yeah.
I was the one guy. I was like a fucking pet
Right.
that just got released. It was so bizarre.
I like the idea of you going back to your cabin at the end of the night and you open it up and that little old woman from the buffet line is on your bed.
As I was saying,
So
I'm from Oklahoma, and you were so funny, and you remind me of my nephew. And my nephew, he doesn't do stand-up comedy. He's a contractor, but we've always said he's so funny.
He works for Dust Bowl Contracting. Maybe you've heard of it?
And you have an 8-year-old, and when I was 8, And it's like stuff like that, and it's nice. But and then there were people that were like they liked me, and then they felt like they could talk to me, and some barriers were down. And I told you guys some of the stuff off mic that was just like reprehensible, viewpoints, viewpoints where they would say it, and I'd be like, you can't. I gotta go. It was bizarre to walk around. I don't think I can properly explain it. I wish I had a GoPro that I had just strapped to my chest and walked around. It was a weird feeling, and again, it was nice with the compliments.
Right.
But for 72 hours, no matter what I did, like I go to walk somewhere. Hey, Ray, over here. Come here, Ray, hey, Ray. Oh, Ray, hey.
What's up, N-word Ray?
Yeah.
You're like, how did you?
Oh no, we got a cake. No,
she's here.
But it was really strange. I wasn't prepared for that.
Right.
Yeah.
I wasn't used to that, and it continued on until I literally flew away.
Yeah.
Like it happened on the shuttle from the boat to Miami Airport. I'm in Miami Airport and I'm hearing, "Hey, Ray," like from the crowd and stuff like that, because everybody's getting off the boat and shit.
Right, yeah.
And it was so bizarre. I know this sounds like I'm complaining about
So it's funny,
being
Quinn
popular or whatever, but it's weird. Yes, please.
from Practical Jokers.
Yeah.
They would do the Impractical Jokers cruise. And he was like, yeah, it's 4 days of, we know we're just going to be completely existing with all these like super fans.
Yeah.
They want to be around us. He's like, the shows are great. It's great that people want to see the shows, the live shows on the boat. He goes, but they want to interact with us. So you just have to deal with 4 days of people consistently bombarding you with that kind of attention,
yeah.
which is a lot. It's a crazy
It's
amount.
a huge amount. And the thing is, like, I get what that is now. You know what I mean? I understand it. But at the same time, like, I'm not making Impractical Jokers money.
Do you wish you,
know
had,
what I mean?
do you wish you had merch?
No. I for a couple of reasons.
Well, the
One,
transport.
I would never want to fucking schlep it, right?
Yeah.
Is there a way to
Schlepping
get it
that.
to the boat without you doing it?
I would have to like UPS or something. You know what I mean?
I don't
Or
know,
whatever.
man. If you have this many people that are so passionate, this might be
it would
worthwhile.
have to be. It would have to be something that I could sell, that I could easily transport. Not
Right.
T-shirts, not DVDs, not CDs.
He's selling Ray Harrington Q-tips one
yeah.
by one.
Or I can just really lean into the elderly and just do, inflatable seat cushions because they're flat.
Ray Harrington tennis balls for the bottom of your walker.
Yes. Yes.
If you had only Ray Harrington like elderly things that are small, that would be so funny.
Yeah. That is fun. I like that
Contact
idea.
cases, pill cases.
Pill
that's
cases.
a
Oh my
fun
god, yeah, that's fun. And then I would have to come up with a bit for like this pill case.
Yeah.
But so it was very strange. So it would be hard for transport.
Yes.
The ship contractually takes like a percentage of your sales and
I've
stuff.
been there.
And then I think the biggest part is, and the reason they do that is because when you're on a cruise, everything's already paid for.
Yeah.
These people aren't like pulling a wallet out
No.
and going, here's $20.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything's paid for through either a card they give you, a medallion they give you, all these different things.
Part of it is like the convenience of being like, I don't have to worry about anything. And so they don't even think about that stuff.
And like normally I take kisses, but we're on a boat. COVID, you know what I mean? You got to be careful.
I wish everyone on the boat kissed you. That would be amazing. Just one wet kiss.
Can I be honest with you? If the captain came to me and said, we all talked to him. We talked to all the elderlies. We told them to turn them up. Turn those ears up, right?
Yeah.
They will ignore you for the rest of the trip.
Okay.
But they will form a line and they will all give you a smooch on the cheek.
Would you do it?
But then for the rest of the trip, you're done. I'd be like, all right.
Yeah.
What is it?
I gotta ask.
It's about 1,000 people. All right.
No problem.
Yeah.
I gotta ask. Any people your age at all? I know you said median age, late 60s. So what does this mean?
This means like I think on the boat
Between 30 and 40.
Yeah, I saw between 30 and 40. I saw maybe 10 people, maybe less.
Wow.
Than that.
Okay.
Enough where I was like, "Hi." Every time I saw somebody, I was like, "Hey, yeah, you know, you know." Right? right? You haven't retired yet, you know, right? You know what I mean? Like you were in school when the 9/11s happened.
You take out an AirPod and you point to it, and then they take one out of theirs and they point to it. And it just
Yeah, but I will say this. There was weird shit.
Yes.
You know, there was a lot of stuff to get used to, a lot
Yes.
of things. It was a learning curve experience for me.
Yeah.
As much as I'm complaining about that weirdness,
Right.
Yes.
it is overwhelming. It is an
sure.
unexpected thing, and especially for someone like me who is polite to a fault
Yeah.
in
Yes.
public. Like I would feel like a horrible piece of shit if I
Yes.
just went bye. You know what I mean? Like I
course.
could not
Yeah.
live that life. It was interesting, and there were some moments that were really nice. And
Yeah, of
course.
again, it was lovely to have that experience and please that many people
Right.
was wonderful.
Yep.
You know, the theater was great. All those things. All those things.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was just so much travel and all that stuff. And I think this was one of those situations where like the first one is gonna knock you on your ass.
Right.
And after this, everyone will feel
right. That's I was going
like
to
a
ask.
breeze.
Are you willing to do cruises in the future? Are you going to become an NBC comic? Nothing but cruises. Like, what's
When did you think of it, and how long have you been?
no? Honestly,
Yeah.
1 minute ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know yet. So the big question of like, will you go out on another date? We'll pay for it.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of processing it.
Right.
And like it is that thing where like the money is very good.
But you're taking time away from your family.
I think that's the big one. And also and speaking of the big one,
Yeah.
I'm the big one.
Right, right.
Wherever.
Yeah.
As a 6'7" morbidly obese man, travel is unpleasant.
Yes.
And
Did you take a Xanax before that flight?
hell yeah.
All right, good boy.
But on a 30-minute one, I did not.
yeah,
Because
right.
it was so late, and I'm like,
Right.
it's only going to be 30 minutes, and then I got to find this place and go to the hotel, so I
Yep.
didn't take it then. But
I like the
yeah.
idea that Ray gets addicted to painkillers just to deal with the travel to the cruise.
Please. Oh my God. Oh, dude, I got on the fucking plane in Newark. I got on the plane. I did not have someone in the middle seat from Boston to Newark.
Okay.
I got on the plane
Very nice.
in Newark, and there was a couple that sat next to me.
Right.
I had the window seat. I picked the window so I can lean against it
Yep, yep.
and give them as much room as possible
Right.
because I know,
Yep.
I'm aware. I don't
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to
yeah.
be in your space.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but we are fucking cattle,
Yeah.
and they will make these seats smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
If they can take your organs to save $1,
Yes.
they will do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Please stow your organs in the overhead compartment
oh,
so
you
that your
gotta
body
check
can
it.
collapse.
Are you carrying your liver on? Well, you got to check it.
You gotta check it.
Yeah.
There's no
So-
more room in the overhead bins. You can gate check it. You can we'll put an orange tag on it. You can pick it up.
I'm sorry, we lost your liver.
What? What about the orange tag?
But anyway, no. So she comes over and she's sitting in the middle seat, and he's sitting on the aisle, and she sits down and she's like huffing and puffing about it, and like same age as me.
Yeah.
And I just said, I'm sorry. But I'm leaning over. I'm trying to give you as much space as possible. You know, I'm sorry about that. I'm 6'7". I'm a big guy.
Yeah.
And I just try again humanize myself
Yeah.
to my captors.
Exact same way.
Yeah. And she's like, no, it's fine. It's just I'm really cramped.
Oh,
and
Jesus.
she was horrible.
Yeah.
And like she would like lean over to her husband
Yep.
and act like I am so put upon.
Yeah.
Please comfort me in this scenario and
Right.
stuff
You know what
like
you should have
that.
said? You should have said, imagine if you were 6'7" and 220 pounds.
Yeah. 200. Thank you. If I was 6'7" and 220, my doctor would be like, you got to put some weight on. You know? but that happened.
You know what would have improved her day? Calming oatmeal.
Yeah. You know,
And a little,
oh man,
let's go to the bathroom and spackle her hole a little bit.
Like a little clear cup,
Yeah.
like the hard plastic clear cup,
Yeah.
and then the flight attendant comes over and pours from like an old school coffee diner
Yep.
thing that's coffee, like the oatmeal and she just comes over and she's like, "How thick do you want it?" Right? And she's
Pretty
pouring-
thick.
Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Brad, you are
Ooh,
Fortunately,
so
I have
thick.
my seatmates, maple and brown sugar.
Brad, you are hopelessly linked to oatmeal for the rest of your life.
Helpfully.
No,
Oh, but you know what?
I think hopeless is the most correct part of that statement.
But I think we hit on a real thing when we talked about like humanizing yourself to your captor.
Right.
Because on the flight home, I was sitting on the aisle
Yes.
and there was a couple next to me from Coventry, Rhode Island, which
wow.
is fun, right?
Yep.
Small world.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there and I could tell they were both like, oh man, this guy's in our
Yep.
in our row. This sucks.
Ugh.
And I had my noise canceling headphones on and I said, you know what? I'm going to try something new, right? And I said it out loud and I took my headphones off and I went, my name's Ray Harrington. I am 6'7". I'm a very big guy. So many numbers here. I'm married. I have a son. I'm a stand-up comedian and I'm traveling doing shows. And I just feel really bad about this. And I want you to know that if you're uncomfortable, I am so much more uncomfortable. And I apologize. And it made all the people around us laugh.
Good.
Yes.
And then I just put my headphones
Yeah, it's
back
good.
on because it's just like, let's get it out of the
Right.
way.
Yes.
Let's fucking get it out of the way.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I
good.
mean? That's why it's always fun to travel with Brian Bowden,
Yes.
who's another comedian
Yeah.
and a very close friend, one of my best friends.
Love him.
He's a bigger guy, right?
Yep.
He's lost some weight, but he's a bigger guy.
Yep.
Big hair.
He's shorter, right? He's a shorter guy. He's like, who's the guy from Lost? He always makes
Hurley,
that joke.
Hurley.
Yeah, Hurley, yeah.
Yeah, you know, people used
Jorge
to say
Garcia, maybe?
he was Hurley from Lost,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or Captain Lou Albano.
Yes.
And we had to fly a few times together for different gigs and stuff. We
Yep.
flew out to Las Vegas. We were working out there. We flew out to Minnesota. We were working out there, you know, stuff like that. And he likes Southwest because he has a trick.
Yep.
And I was like, all right, let's do this. Let's hit that
'Cause
Southwest.
it's not assigned seating. You
Correct.
go on, you pick your seat. Yeah.
Yeah. So we sat, and he's like, I'm taking the window. You take the aisle.
Yeah, no one's going to sit in the middle.
And no one will sit in the middle. And he goes, he sits down. He's like, great. And then he takes the air sick bag out of the front. While we're just on the runway, people are getting on board,
Yep.
opens it, and he's like, and just make sure everybody walks by. And that's a great trick. And I like doing that.
I did a plane trick like that one time. Me and my ex-girlfriend were flying back.
Oh, you cut a hole in the air sick bag, right?
Reach in.
Aren't you feeling nauseous? No.
I'll tell you what, something's going to puke.
So I was on the window, ex-girlfriend on the aisle, and we're like, it's so nice to just have this space. I'm like, I wonder if we could. I was like, put my backpack, got a jacket out, put it around the backpack, put the hat on top of the backpack, and like had it like slumped over, and I put my arm around it as everyone was seating. No one even looked at it. Twice.
The trick didn't work the way you think it did. They looked and went, there's an insane man who has a comfort backpack with him.
Honestly,
it was
I just
crazy.
sit and I look sullen. Yeah. I go 2/3 of the way back and I sit on the aisle and I don't make eye contact and I just look unhappy. And it works
but
much of the time.
But you bring that cauldron of oatmeal.
Yeah.
And it's in the middle seat.
And to be fair,
I pay for the ticket for the oatmeal.
often you are like very delicate with your backpack, extremely delicate with it, and you're constantly going like, so where do you think we'll be over? Like 2 hours into the flight. Where do you
listened to it.
over?
Can you just remind me, don't cut the blue wire? I was going to say, so you go from St. Martin's, is that where it was?
Yeah.
Where is that?
St. Kitts.
St. Kitts.
So I flew into St. Martin's, then took the puddle jumper over to St. Kitts.
So where's St. Martin's?
in the Caribbean
Okay, so how do you get there from Newark?
with an airplane.
No, I mean you get there from Newark. That's from Newark
Yeah,
to St.
yeah.
Okay, and how long is that one?
I think that was like what was that, like a 4 or 5 hour flight?
I just wonder if there's anywhere that you could like split up the travel. So you
Yeah.
could travel to a place, do some shows in that place, and then go to the cruise.
That's another reason why I'm thinking about,
Yeah.
that's a part of
Presumably someplace like, Orlando, Miami.
That's what I'm
yeah,
thinking.
but that's one of the
wondering if-
elements of why I might continue to do it, because there's also what I'm more interested in. I'm not that interested in getting the free flight to Orlando or Miami
I'm
or
just thinking
Fort Lauderdale.
of taking this travel and separating it.
Right. But what I'm interested in is the opportunity to have free airfare, because they pay for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To have free airfare to other countries where I can push my flight back
Yes.
a couple of days.
yeah.
Yes.
And basically like take the boat out. Like one of the options I had was take the boat from Florida to Colombia, I think it was.
Okay.
And then fly home from Colombia.
Right.
And I was just like, I have enough cocaine, I'm fine.
You can never have enough.
No. That's the lesson you need to learn. You
that's
can't.
why your oatmeal tastes so weird.
That's my rage oatmeal.
Yeah.
is-
The librarian was saying like you can't can't grind your teeth that loud in the air.
That makes sense.
But no, so like the idea of doing that and like taking a cruise to
Right.
say the UK,
Yes.
and extending it out at like free airfare to the
That's
UK.
what I'm
is
wondering.
Fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
I love that idea.
And you could even kind of be like, you could be like, I'm going to go somewhere closer first. So the travel is half.
Right.
Then you do some shows there.
Yeah.
Then you go do the cruise. Then you end up in the UK and you do shows there.
Right.
So it becomes 3 things.
Yeah.
And your travel is
And
divided.
then my son forgets what I look like.
Yeah, it's tough because I'm like, man, I wish
I come home and he's like, "Are you the UPS man?"
I wish there were a way for you to be able to bring, on one of these cruises to bring, a wife and child, and
Any one of them.
Yeah,
Any wife or any child.
either one of them.
Yeah.
But
What
only,
about a child wife?
But only.
What?
I don't like that.
Save room.
Yeah, that's a good point.
that would make for
It's a
a
combo.
very small wife.
Yeah.
Suitcase
exactly.
wife.
Suitcase wife.
Yeah.
Small
Wait a minute.
wife.
Now we're getting too close to like
small
Murder.
wife.
no, just dehumanizing little people, I think is what we're about to do.
She's in the thing and she's like, so they said to humanize myself. All back around.
You realize we're 2 seconds away from me going, "This is my wife," and pulling out a Muppet.
Yeah, we just want to do a circle of callbacks.
Yeah, just me laying on the crew bed or whatever in my cabin.
Yep.
And just playing with my Muppet's hair. It's so romantic out here on the seas. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to try to fit in the toilet to take a shit. That was another part. Holy cow.
Oh my God.
Like my knee, I would sit down on the toilet and my knees are jammed into the sink. The shower, I showed my wife Kalina a picture of the shower and she's like, "It's so small." I described it on stage as a coffin you take a shower in. It is a coffin.
I love that you
Me,
like
6'7", like kind of like this in the shower.
A
'Cause the
little
height of it-
Will Ferrell and Elf energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
you're trying to shit in the bathroom and you're like, the best way to do it is upside down with my ass against the shower.
Yeah. No. It's my head is out of a porthole. And people are like, "What are you doing?" And I have my iPad on the deck, and I have like a little stick in my mouth to swipe the pages. And they're like, "What are you doing? Why is your head sticking out of the porthole?" And I'm like, "This is the only way my ass can get over the turlet."
You're like, you know what? It's just easier. You walk to the everyone's taking their Titanic photos. You're like,
You're in the
You turn
buffet line.
around.
Yeah.
You're in the buffet line.
Oh man, I just pictured like, because I can't do it, I'm in the buffet line and I Shawshank Redemption shake it out of the leg of my pants. And because it's so many elderly people, they're all worried it was them.
You're not. No, to me, you wouldn't be in the buffet line. You're at the edge of the water.
Yeah.
Like you're on.
Shaking my leg. It's beautiful out here. It's really beautiful out here. It's gorgeous. Wow. It really makes you think about how small we are as a people.
wonder if we're going to land in
I'm
Say
really
Wantaneo.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Well, I know we went super long on this
did.
conversation.
That was great.
Yeah,
It was a lot
but
of fun. I
it
like-
was definitely an experience. I
Yeah.
will say that like the part that was a bummer was like I was messaging you guys
Yes.
during this time. Like there's really spotty internet, and all I could think, it was weird to be surrounded by 3,000 people,
Right.
3,500 people, all going, "Hey Ray," and like, "I want to talk to you about that thing," and
Yeah.
da 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 da, and yet feel so alone.
Of course.
There was no one to talk to about this because I'm in that weird gray area.
Yeah.
The crew looks,
literally a gray area.
yeah. The crew looks at me as like sort of guest, but
Right.
don't have to worry about if I'm happy or comfortable.
Right. Yeah, right.
And then the guests look at me as some sort of prize that came in the cereal.
Yeah.
They can bat me around and
The
put
boat
me away.
celebrity.
Yeah.
The boat-lebrity. But there were some really wonderful things about it, and
Yeah.
I'm happy I did it.
Yeah.
And I got to decide if I'm going to continue,
Right.
which is what I said when I went to Hollywood and I started my career as an adult film entertainment person.
Yes. Yes.
There were
yeah.
aspects of it I enjoyed.
Yes.
I was really sore when I came home, and I have to think about what I'm, if I
Yeah.
want to do it again. But the money is good,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear ya.
Same thing.
and it was nice to please so many people.
right. Just in one afternoon.
Yeah.
Just in one afternoon. Yeah.
Just in a few performances.
Yep. Back to back,
Different 45.
different 45.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's great, man. I'm glad you. I mean, it's
Yeah.
fun. It's fun to have. It is fun to have new experiences. I know that's so cliche,
I know.
but it's true.
Yeah, and it does excite me, the idea of having more fun doing that kind of stuff. I also worry, like, I don't want to become
NBC.
an NBC, nothing but cruises. I don't want to become a cruise comic.
Right.
I don't mind dipping into it once in a while. I don't know.
Would you say like 2 per year
Maybe. Yeah, something. It's
or 1 every 2 years?
It's crazy because you say things like 2 per year, and then after he does 10, he's 5 years older. That's crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how time works.
Yeah.
It's just like, but you're a different guy then. I think at 45, you might want to. You might be like, what am I doing with myself?
Oh, are you kidding me? What I should do is do enough every year to keep them like really wanting me to do these cruises.
Right.
Yes.
And then hit an age where I'm like, this is the best thing I've ever
Yeah.
done. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cruise for life. And all I have to do is tell some jokes, and I get to live here for free.
And your
Okay.
act doesn't change.
Yeah.
You're a Vegas guy at that point.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Just doing
yeah,
the same
yeah.
jokes day in and day
So
out.
I went on this really little plane.
Yeah.
Everybody loves it.
They're like, we have hovercrafts now.
Huh?
I was gonna say, like, one of the things I tried.
How many genders are there?
How many hover genders are there? I was gonna say, one of the things I like to think about, I think it is positive, is whenever you go something that really tests you,
Yeah.
in terms of like, this is fucking tough and hard and annoying and frustrating.
I know, though, that we
You-
can turn the mics off and I can go home.
Well, I was gonna, I was gonna say it pushes your ability to deal with that stuff a little bit further out. And
Yeah,
you say,
yeah.
I know I can do this. So when you come up with something that you know is going to be half as frustrating, it feels a little bit more
Yeah.
like, well, that's no big deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're like, I just had to travel for 20 hours straight.
Right.
When someone's like, you got to travel for 11 hours straight, you're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And I think it does
Yeah.
help you feel a little bit more comfortable with that kind of stuff.
No, totally. Yeah, I agree. And I hope this was entertaining. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, no, I loved
it
it.
was a real Twilight Zone feeling. And
Fuck yeah.
I still don't know how I felt. You
know,
know what I
I
mean?
know.
It's
Well,
it's a
you
strange
you
thing.
felt like Chuck feels in a local coffee shop where
Yes.
everyone sees you and knows you and loves you and wants to tell
Yeah.
you how great you are.
Yeah.
Not
Really?
acknowledge any companions that are with you.
And, yeah,
so
and at
now
the
it's
same
true?
time, I felt like Brad, uncomfortable and unsure of where to go.
Yeah.
We did it.
We did it.
But I will say this, boys. I'm happy to be back.
Yeah,
we're happy
on
to have you
land.
back.
Yeah.
With my fun little boys.
You got your land legs.
It honestly took some time.
I know.
I came home and I'm like, hey, the floor's still moving. This
Yeah,
is weird.
yeah.
But I do want to. I think I'd like to do it again. I'd like to see if I could do one where maybe the median age is lower.
Sure.
Right. And here, how about this? Let's put this on our goals list
Okay.
for the next decade.
Okay.
A year seems fast.
Yes.
Let's try and get so fucking big.
Okay.
Yeah.
That we do a Funbearable cruise.
Okay. I mean, we're not going to go into a new thing right now.
Thank
Brad
you.
and I were booked to moderate a Comic-Con at Sea, and we were the moderators for every single panel.
So, but you said you've never gone on a cruise.
Oh, something happened.
COVID? Was it
No,
COVID?
it wasn't. Oh, I mean,
It was your background check.
No, it wasn't.
Chuck was
that.
put on the no sale list.
There's no sails on the boat. As he's getting dragged off.
No, I mean, it just never happened because I think it was their first time doing this con at sea. What was it called? The Geek Boat.
Yeah.
And it was like Brian O'Halloran and Jeff Anderson, the guys from Clerks, some of the people from Pirates of the Caribbean, a bunch of people from The Walking Dead. And they were like, you guys are going to do...
Pirates of the Caribbean feels like out of place in that one.
Yeah.
So they're like, you're going to moderate all the panels.
Yeah.
And you're going to do the Bradley Drawns.
Oh, wow.
Back and forth all the time, the whole time. And I was like, yes, we'll do it. And Brad's like, what was that?
That's true. Chuck agreed to it without consulting me.
To be fair, you had a life preserver on at the time. Right? You had a life jacket.
And that beautiful, cute sailor hat.
Yeah.
No, but...
and the zinc on your nose?
Yes.
I think, going into it, we were like, listen, if this is bad, whatever happens, it's going to be fun, at least. It's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
And I'd say a few months beforehand, within like 3 months beforehand, they were like, we're canceling all the celebrities and all the panels. And I think they tried to do it a couple times and it kept getting pushed back because of COVID. So I don't know if people took back their down payment for their tickets or whatever.
You know what it is? It sounds like there was the Fire Festival. This was the Water Festival.
Yeah. And I mean, hey, we're still in contact.
We've got Chuck Staten. Brad Roar.
I am the
It's a picture of you-
equivalent of the lunch from the fire.
It's a picture of you with two flare guns just at the ready at all times.
There was a website that had us on it like that.
Yeah.
With everybody.
Yeah.
And then
I can't wait for the documentary.
And we were promoting it on the Chuck and Brad podcast, and we were promoting it as Chuck and Brad Con. Remember that?
We were. Yeah.
And
That's amazing.
Right?
If in that documentary, by the way, it would absolutely be Brad looking down the barrel of the camera going, I was going to suck his dick for that water. Do you remember that part?
Yeah, I love
That's
it.
amazing.
I love it.
And people were like, wow, that's crazy. And I looked at that and I'm like, that is a man you want in your corner.
Yeah, for sure.
That is a guy, people say do or die.
Yeah.
I'm ride or die. I'm ride or die.
Yeah.
Are you going to suck some dick for water? Now you're ride or die. Now
Yes.
you're in my crew.
Yes.
I just turned into Vin Diesel. I'm sorry.
No, I liked it.
Family.
Fast and the Furious with boats. Ooh. Write it down. Write it down. Fast and the Furious with boats.
Okay, we'll talk about this another time, but I had a good idea for a new Fast and Furious movie last night.
Is it with boats? It should be.
I hope the Geek Boat still works out someday. Maybe
Sure,
all three of
yeah,
us. That'd be
yeah,
great.
yeah.
It'd be a lot of fun. No pay.
I live my life.
Oh.
I live my life a quarter fathom at a time.
Yes, this is what I'm saying. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. We want to wrap it up?
No, I want to talk more about Fast and Furious with boats. No, I'm just kidding.
Folks, you can check us out on social media. I am at Brad Roar.
I'm at Funbearable Pod on
Pod.
everything.
Yeah.
And then I'm Ray Harrington on anything else that you want to look at.
Yes, I'm at Discount Chuck and funbearablepod.com. You're probably already gone.
Send
You
us
can
an
also
podcast.
email us.
Yeah, send us an email, funbearablepod@gmail.com. Or
And with your cruise information, if you've been on a cruise, like we want to hear about that,
Yeah.
truly, because I'm interested in people like our age going on cruises.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know if are they called cruisers? Because that sounds different.
yeah, it sounds very different.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? Like Chuck's a cruiser.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times, like when I hear cruiser, I picture Chuck startled in the light of a flashlight from a police officer.
Right. And then like other people are
And
scattering.
they're all running. Yeah. They're all running. He's got chocolate on his face.
Yeah. We hope it's chocolate.
Yeah. But I genuinely want to know what your cruise experiences
For
or
sure.
input. Yeah, absolutely.
I'd love to hear about cruise stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man.
And you had something else to mention as well.
Well, I was just going to say we're, I renegotiated my contract with Tuesdays with Stories. So now I'm going to be plugging Funbearable every week on Tuesdays.
And are they letting you in the room now?
Yes. There was a divider.
Yeah.
But it's really fun. And the first week we did it, we doubled our audio numbers,
Perfect.
which was really, really cool. And I
Yeah.
appreciate all the Tuesdays listeners coming over. And I hope that people enjoy the podcast and stick around. We do a lot of fun stuff.
Well, they love oatmeal over at Tuesdays.
Yeah, they do.
Can't get
they do.
enough.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all so much for joining us for this episode.
Oats and Boats. That's the name of this one.
Much better.
In parentheses, Brad spackles his hole.
For Ray Harrington and Chuck Staten, I am Brad Roar saying thank you so much, and we're sorry for being Funbearable.
Nice.
I don't like oatmeal that much.
For life.
I bought 4 little things and I ate those over the course of 2 weeks.
Yeah, but I looked in your freezer and you had those like popsicle forms.
Yeah.
And they were filled with oatmeal with a little stick in them. You made oatmeal pops.
Yeah.
And I saw a crude painting that you made of yourself as the Quaker Oats guy.
It wasn't crude. It was impressionist.
And I saw that tramp stamp.